So we want to take better photos, as we all do honestly. And no one is an exception, neither you or me. But how do you do that? You already watched every composition and gear video that there is. So what else you can do to improve? Well, there is one, or more specifically two things that I believe will make anyone into a better photographer. And it's actually pretty simple, at least in theory. Since photography is an art form, it will require scratch that, a lot of training. So what is it? Well, it's photographing the world the way you see it. Art is a way to express ourselves. It's to show how we feel, how we see, and how we perceive the world around us. So why would photography be an exception? In theory, there isn't anything that would make it one. However, in practice, it's often not the case. Whether it's some pressure or just not knowing about more creative parts of photography, we often end up with photos like these. Boring, emotionless, and pointless. I mean, it's not really that pointless since it's a stepping stone to getting better, but it's definitely boring. So what can you do about it? Well, there are many ways to approach this, and one of them is to stop haphazardly taking photos. And the reason for that is pretty simple. If you shoot photos haphazardly or without any thinking, you might not show the world the way you see it. A good example of that is a photo of my little sister playing with a toy keyboard. It would be extremely easy to take a photo without any thinking, but when I was taking this photo, the main thing that I was focusing on was her, well, playing with it. So that's why I decided to photograph her hand playing with it. And this isn't the only example, there are many more like this. So don't shoot haphazardly, alright? But what if I don't notice these things, you might ask? Well, you might just need to practice. More specifically, you should practice your seeing. And what I mean by that is just go out there and stare at stuff. With intention, of course. So look at how light interacts with things. Look how the world looks when you get lower, higher or closer. Don't just rely on the idea that you will one day get better. You have to put some work in. And if you do that, you will get better photos. At least for you, which I believe is the most important part, because it doesn't matter if the photos look good for someone else if you think they are shit. It's pretty simple if you think about it. Why would you enjoy the process if you don't like the results even a little? But to recap, just don't take photos without thinking, at least in the beginning. After some time you will subconsciously start noticing these things. Or to put it more simply, you should focus more on how the world looks around you. However, the ability to see is just one of the things that you need to have. I mean, it's the most important part, you won't really get anywhere without it, but seeing an image and taking it are two completely different things. If you don't know how to take a photo that you won't take it, or you will compromise. And this is why I believe, in addition to what I said before, you should also focus more on learning the more technical aspects of photography. And I am not talking about watching more videos on YouTube about the exposure triangle. Don't get me wrong, they are great if you don't understand this subject. However, even if you understand them, you still might not know how and when to use them. And there is a lot to learn here. Whether it's capturing fast-moving subjects or things like this, or even just getting the goddamn sun stars. It's not really that easy to always remember all of that. And that's why I believe it's a good idea to practice with that. So for example, you can spend a week shooting with set settings. You can spend a week while photographing things with sun stars in them. And stuff like that. It's kind of basic and trivial, but it does make you look at things differently. Yeah, you won't remember all of that all the time. However, you will notice new photo opportunities way more often. And remember, it isn't limited to just setting your aperture at f16. You can use flashes, multiple exposures, or anything that your camera or lighting offers. And the point isn't to master all of that. You probably won't enjoy everything that you are doing. But after experimenting and mastering what you like, you will find that photo opportunities come way more often. This part will be the easiest in theory and hardest in practice. And it's about getting rid of any outside notions of how photography is supposed to look like. Because, as mentioned before, photography is an art form, therefore we should make it our own. Photography should showcase the world how it is. abstract shapes go. Photography should be secondary and you should go there to enjoy the place and the people. I go there to take photos, and if I can do that, I don't enjoy it. For some people, this too may be true. However, the keyword here is some. What if you want to do something different? What are we supposed to do then? Well, do that. We will still be, well, photographers, if you are worried about it. And we will probably be way more real photographers than the ones that just repeat the stuff they saw online and are fighting over camera brands. I mean, they are also real photographers, but sad ones. Or to translate it into more human terms, we shouldn't gatekeep. As long as someone took the photo themselves and enjoyed the process, they are a photographer. And how is that important to the discussion, you might ask? It's pretty simple. It's because if we gatekeep others, we also probably gatekeep ourselves. I can't do that. They are better than me. It's probably a thought that you had, and it's a form of gatekeeping. So instead of lamenting that they are better than you, or screaming online that someone isn't a real photographer, you should go outside, or stay inside if you do studio work, and well, photograph things, while trying to capture the world the way you see it. Anyone can take a nice photo, but there is only one you, so show that in your work. And then still be annoyed that they aren't as good as you want them. As some workaholics online say, the grind never stops. Well, thanks for listening to this rant. If you want more of it, please consider subscribing and maybe watching my other videos. Bye!